welcome to my channel. My name's Arnaldo and this is Articulture. Today I have for you my fastest growing Hoyas. I'm here in my Hoya jungle. Hoyas, yeah, probably one of my favorite topics and definitely one of my favorite plants. I'm gonna go through and show you some examples from my experience of the fastest growing Hoyas that I have in my collection. And it is now springtime 2022, and obviously they are growing even faster now, but I'm going to go over some of them and give you some tips as well. So my the number one fastest growing Hoya from my experience and in my collection is the Hoya pubicalis. Hoya pubicalis is just constantly growing. I have a few of them in my collection, and I actually have a couple outside which are really huge. And if you've seen my Hoya collection or my houseplant tour video, you've probably already seen them, but I will show them to you again today because the growth is spectacular and every day is more and more. So yeah, and also one of the pubicalis that I have outside, it's multiple blooms right now. I really haven't counted them, but there's just so many that they're just like all over the whole Hoya Trellis that I have outside. So yeah, Hoya pubicalis. I have a little new one here that I purchased because, you know, you can't get enough Hoyas. So this little guy right here, as you can see, look at all the growth. Super fast growing. I think that I'm going to actually trellis this one. And as far as trellising, a good tip is if you want to trellis your plant like I have trellised these, the best tip that I can give you from experience is trellis her as soon as you purchase. As soon as you purchase your small Hoya, put her in her little planter and then go ahead and put the wire and do the trellis and start training her on the trellis however it is that you want the plant to look. Because if you don't start training the Hoya, what happens is that the leaves may be growing in a direction that you don't want them to be, and that they're not going to look the best on the trellis. So that's going to be the best tip, is because if you start training her really soon, then you'll be able to get the plant looking exactly the way that you want. Okay guys, so the next one that I have for you is the Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen. And I'm sure you know these are obviously easier to find and more readily available for you in your nurseries, but they are gorgeous plants. They're so easy to take care of, one of the easiest to take care of, and they grow like crazy. And as if you can see here, it has all this, and you can see by how full she is that it's just growing and growing and growing. And I like to trellis mine, and I like to keep wrapping them and keep wrapping them. Some people recommend trimming them back. Obviously at some point I'm gonna have to, but I'd rather not. I mean, I like keeping my plants full. And take a look at this beautiful, I hope you can see, yeah, I think you can see it there. How beautiful this branch with all the creamy leaves. It's like a big, beautiful flower that it has created with the pink in the center. Absolutely gorgeous. I love when the Hoyas have the light colored leaves. They're just so pretty. That's my favorite. And then I have over here to show you, I have so many, I don't even fit. This one is the Hoya Carnosa Crimson Princess, and the princess, as you can see, is growing also really fast, really crazy. Again, the same thing, really easy to take care of. I want to show you, she has this super cool leaf right here, and it's like a little cup. It like can hold water. It's so pretty. Anyways, really beautiful, really easy to take care of. And actually this one is almost all green, and then it has some variegated leaves on the bottom, just like a little bit. But I don't mind that, you know, they're green or they have some variegation. Oh, look at this leaf right here, how pretty. That's a beautiful leaf right there. So yeah, two of the easiest growing, fastest Hoyas. So the next one that I have to show you is the Hoya Sonia. It's actually my newest Hoya. It's the newest one to my collection. And I want to show you the leaves there because it has the gorgeous larger leaves, and the veining is gorgeous. It actually reminds me of a Calistophylla. It reminds me of the Hoya Calistophylla. So actually I purchased her at an orchid show So, you know, I go to the orchid show and of course I purchase a Hoya. I didn't buy any orchids there, but you know, that was great because the orchid people were there and then the Hoyas were readily available and accessible for our Hoya fans to purchase. So anyways, it's a larger leaf Hoya. When I purchased her, which let's say it's maybe a month and a half to 2 months ago, not very long at all, she was just a couple of leaves. And the minute I brought her home, I'm gonna get closer so you guys can see it. The minute I brought her home, she just was so happy to be included in the Hoya plant community that I have. All of this is new growth and is growing. More leaves, more little baby leaves right there. But yeah, immediately when I put her in the new pot, it was a little bit larger pot. You know, that what happens is I feel like a lot of times the plants are in a nursery or whoever is the vendor, you know, they have so many plants that they're taking care of at one time. They don't really give the plant the attention that they really require and want. So once you bring them home and you give them love and you put them with the other plants, they just start thriving and growing and looking their absolute best and looking beautiful. So, okay, so the next one that I want to show you is the Hoya Carry Eye. So Hoya Carry Eye, variegated Carry Eye and Splash. Carry Eye Splash. So actually when I purchased this one and she started growing, first thing is actually the person that I purchased her from told me, oh, I hope you have patience. I hope you have patience in growing Hoyas because she's gonna be really, really, really slow growing. Well, actually, she wasn't. She wasn't at all. Actually, she's growing super crazy fast, both of them together. And what I realized is that I actually have two plants. I do have the Hoya Carry Eye variegated and the Carry Eye Splash. I guess at some point soon, I'm gonna probably separate them and put them in separate pots, but they're so happy growing together and I kinda like don't wanna do it. But yeah, so she's growing super fast. It has all these new stems coming and every day I see the growth. Every day I see the progression and how fast she's growing. So I think that probably what it is with this one is the location that I have her, and that's gonna be a really, really important tip that I'm gonna give you guys is light. The more light they have, the faster they're gonna grow. That's gonna be my tip for fast growing, is the more light they receive, the faster they will grow. And that I have from experience. The ones that are closer to where the sun comes in, they get morning sun, those grow fast. The ones that I have towards the wall that get a lot less light grow a lot slower, so it's just a given. And yeah, that's what is going to be the best tip for you if you want your Hoya to grow faster. Definitely give it more light, and obviously not direct sun, although I do have a couple that get direct sun and they're growing insanely crazy, but I wouldn't recommend them because it could possibly burn the leaves. Okay, and then the next one that I'm going to show you guys is the Hoya Memoria. Hoya Memoria is also one that is just going crazy with growth. As you can see, she's going really long and is about to start flowering. Her peduncles are here with the little blooms. See if you can see those. There's another one right here. So pretty. And she also has that little bit of splash on her. It's like a mini pubic calyx. So gorgeous, so pretty. And as you can see, all these new little branches full of leaves. Yeah, and growing super, super fast and then blooming, which I'm super excited to see the little flowers of the Hoya Memoria. And then the next one that I want to show you is the Australis Lisa. Australis Lisa, as far as color, is definitely one of my favorite. It has all these beautiful colors with the pink coming in. And actually, she's growing pretty fast also as well. She has all this new growth coming in. See if you can see all the little baby leaves coming in there. Some more coming in here. But yeah, just a beautiful plant. She grows vertically. She's like a little bush. She's so cute. I highly recommend the Hoya Australis Lisa in your collection. It's one you have to have because the colors are so pretty and so beautiful. And then the Obovata Splash is the next one that I want to show you right here. She's small, but she is actually growing pretty fast as well. She has a lot of new leaves coming in. These are new and they've already filled in. They've turned round. This one will get more round later. But yeah, also a really pretty one is the Obovata Splash. And then I have a little one over here just to show you. This is just a little clipping of the Hindi rope that I cut from my large one outside. And I put her in the soil and she also grew super, super fast. So the Hindi rope does actually grow fast. She does like light as well. So again, that's really the tip. More light, faster growth. Okay guys, so coming out into my Hoya Trellis. So definitely number one in fast growing is pubic calyx. And if you can see here, some more branches. Completely full, and I've shown this before, but I want to show the way it wraps around and all of the gorgeous blooms that it has right now. All the springtime blooms, it's just so many, and it wraps around. So she has really wrapped herself around all of my Hoyas, which at some point it's gonna be a problem because I don't know how I'm ever gonna separate them all because she has twisted. I hope the lighting is okay for you guys to see, but she has twisted herself all around all of the plants, all of the other Hoyas. Macrophylla is here, and as Macrophylla goes up, she gets all twisted with her there too. So another one that I want to show you is the Hoya Carnosa. Hoya Carnosa is also growing incredibly fast and has these beautiful new branches all coming in here, as you can see, and a whole bunch of new growth. The only thing I'm not seeing is peduncles. I was really hoping to see some blooms soon from her, but hopefully they will be coming. And then of course over here I have my senior plant that's been growing for years. As you can see, her growth is incredible and she's going to be growing out. I'm going to just let her continue to grow around the little roof here, the outside patio roof. But yeah, she's super healthy, super happy, and just growing every day more and more and more. And then one more that I wanted to include is the Hoya Carry Eye. And if you can see, these are all branches. She's doing great. She's so beautiful. And if you look here, I can show you as the branches, as the vines just keep growing out and they keep wrapping around. Such a pretty plant. Okay guys, so I wanted to go ahead and give you guys some tips. So when you're shopping for Hoyas, if you're purchasing a Hoya, make sure that the leaves are really firm. Make sure that your plant, that the leaves are really firm, because if the leaves are not, she may not be a plant that's doing so well, and you really don't want to purchase a plant that may be in a bad condition. So, and then remember, once you brought her home, always make sure that the soil dries out before you water again. So, because they don't like to sit in wet soil. So if you are going to be pruning your Hoya, make sure you can prune actually any time of the year. So pruning is okay any time of the year. I've done it, but springtime growing season is obviously the best time for doing your pruning. And Hoyas do bleed when you cut them. So a tip that I can give you to minimize the bleeding when you cut the vines is to water your Hoya. Water your Hoya an hour before you do the pruning, and it's actually going to minimize the bleeding. What it is it's going to minimize the pressure buildup in the plant, so when you cut it, it'll bleed less. So, and yeah, and then the tip that I gave you guys, which was obviously light. Light is your best thing for growing your Hoya. So more light, more growth. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed my fastest growing Hoya video. If you haven't already done so, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next episode.